Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Mortal Kombat video. As you may have heard, MK12 finally got announced. It's official that it's going to be the next NRS game that we'll be getting. And of course, this got me thinking, what characters do I want to see in the next Mortal Kombat game? And that brings us to the here and now. But before we get into the list, there's a couple of things I want to say. For example, characters I think have a 100% chance of getting in won't be on this list. Like, you're not going to be seeing Scorpion or Sub-Zero or anything like that. And secondly, this is just my opinion and my personal list. Just because a character that you like isn't on here doesn't mean I hate them, it just means I like other characters more. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave your list down below. I'm really interested to see what characters are most wanted and what characters people really want to see come back in MK12. So, yeah, leave them comments. And with that out of the way, it has begun! Coming in at number 10, we have Hotaru. Hotaru is a classic 3D era character and is one of the generals of the Order Realm, which is pretty dope and the main reason I want to see him in MK12. I feel like the Netherrealm, Earthrealm, and Outworld get all the attention in the games, and I really want them to explore the other realms a bit more. So why not reintroduce Hotaru into the series and explore the Realm of Order through him? I also think it would be cool to have a magma-based character in the game, and I think there's a lot from a gameplay point of view that they could do with that. I just want his dash, punch, and retreat move to return, because that was fantastic, and it was great in Armageddon, and I loved it in that game. Anyways, just for the extra Order Realm lore, I want Hotaru in MK12. Taking the 9th spot, we have Borai Joe. He's coming in 9th because of a little bit of nostalgia and a little bit of MKX. He's one of the more complex characters in MKX, I think, which made him one of the most interesting characters to watch and to learn how to play. So if they could do that again in MK12, that would be, pretty good. As for nostalgia, he was one of my first favorite characters as a kid, and he reminded me of like early Jackie Chan films I used to watch with my dad as a kid. So yeah, I loved him as a kid, and I still like him as a character, and I would like to see him return. Rain is probably like my third favorite ninja, and I mean, he has a ton of traits that I tend to love. First, he wears purple. He's the purple ninja, and that's just happened to be my favorite color. So boom, there's one. He can also control water and some electricity. I like the water, and if I had to have any superpower, it would be to control electricity, because that shit is cool. And finally, I loved him in MK11. I thought he was a super cool character that required high execution and had pretty interesting combo routes. I know this is a really super personal opinion one, but he's a badass ninja, and I would love to see him in back-to-back games. Coming in at number 7 is Smoke. I know a lot of you are probably expecting him to be a bit higher up on this list because he's definitely one of the more popular characters, but hey, it's my list and I like him at number 7, so that's where he's coming in at. But back in the day, in the 3D era games and in MK9, my brother and I, we always played Noob and Smoke. I was always Noob, and he was always Smoke. I just have countless memories of just beating each other up and playing tag mode with those two characters that, even though I never really played Smoke, I'm more of like a Smoke casual enjoyer, I grew to see him as the perfect battle buddy while in combat. And for that reason, I want to see him in MK12, and hopefully if we get a tag mode, I can add on to those memories, and we can just get tag mode, which would be great. Please NRS, add in tag mode, I'm begging you. I love Ermac from a character design point of view. I love characters that are like multiple souls or multiple people into like one body. Well, I know of two characters like that, Ermac and then the soldier guy from Marvel Nemesis. Shoutouts in the comments if anyone remembers that game from my childhood, because I am desperately looking for people that do. Anyways, I also like Ermac's costumes. Ermac has never had a bad costume. It doesn't matter the game, he has great outfits, and it's still a shame that his new costume in MK11 was just completely wasted. And finally, he was dope in MK9 and MKX. He was always fun to watch and fun to play, which just makes him a great character. He's also one of the classic ninjas. Like, I just want a game where we have every color, we have the rainbow of ninjas in the game, and maybe MK12 can be that game. So yeah, let's get Ermac into MK12. Naga is one of my favorite boss characters. Now, I played MK Deception when I was a kid and had zero taste or idea what made a story good, but I remember being stuck on a Naga for quite some time and the Conquest mode really building him up as to be like a force to be reckoned with. And I sucked as a kid, so, he really was a hard boss. It was like the first time my kid brain recognized the story building up a future part of gameplay. Like, you're told he's a badass, and when I got there, he was a badass. So for that, I'll always have a soft spot for him. Plus, NRS has been killing it with boss characters in the last few games. Like we had Goro in MKX and Shao Kahn in MK11, so now it's Onaga's turn. Instead of doing them individually, I decided to make number 4 just all of the cyborgs, including Cyrex, Sector, and Cyber Sub-Zero. To me, the cyborgs are mainstays. They're on the same level of Scorpion, Raiden, and Sub-Zero. Like if they're not in the game, it hurts a little bit, especially if they're in the story mode and not playable. Cough cough, MK11, cough cough. I would love to see them in MK12 and see what NetherRealm Studios can really do with them in this next entry. I want to see some Cyrex setups and some crazy combos, alright? I need the cyborgs. They need to be in MK12. Shang Tsung gets the number 3 spot because he is my favorite villain / favorite boss character. I love everything about him. I love his character, his costume, and his moveset. It also helps that in MK, I like to play everybody, and Shang Tsung just lets you do that literally all of the time, anytime you want. Just in one combo in a shapeshifter special, and bam! I get to give my opponent a little taste of their own medicine, and man, does that feel sweet sometimes, especially if it's a character that you know really, really, really well, and you can just go sicko mode for about 15 seconds. It's great. It's awesome. It also helps that he's my main in MK11, which is the MK I've competed in the most and probably am the best at, so there's some sentimental value there too. I also consider him to be a core character, and I think every MK game needs him, so let's get him into MK12. Coming in at the silver medal spot, we have one of, if not my favorite character in all of Mortal Kombat, Noob Saibot. I mean, what's not to love about Noob? He looks incredible, he's incredibly edgy, and he's a classic character. Like I said earlier about Smoke, I have so many great memories with Noob. Whether it's playing tag mode with my brother in the older games or climbing the ranks in MK11, I always have a great time with Noob. In addition to that, he's also great from a story point of view. Like his stories about family and the drama created between him and Sub-Zero is always interesting to watch unfold. So that, coupled with his always great gameplay, makes him my favorite character and one I need in MK12. Before we get to the top spot and the character I want to see the most in MK12, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you're enjoying the video. I'm going to be covering MK12 like crazy and plan on making a ton of content about the game and, news on the lead up to the game's release. So if you're at all interested in that, click that subscribe button and join the hype train for MK12. Character I want to see the most in MK12 is Shujinko. Like I said earlier for Onaga, MK Deception is one of my favorite MK games and probably one of my favorite games of all time. Does it help that MK Deception was the first game I ever played? Kinda. There's a lot of nostalgia there. There's a lot of love for this game. But at the center of all that, in MK Deception, is the protagonist, Shujinko. You really get to see him grow and change through the Conquest mode, which is nice. I really like his story. It's also pretty cool that he has the ability to copy any fighter's moves. Not like Shang Tsung, he doesn't become the other person. Think more like Taskmaster from Marvel. He can watch the fighter, practice their move, and then be able to perform said move. Think about how cool that would be in modern MK games with variations. I straight up just want a variation move that says it copies of the opponent's variation moves, so that each match is dynamic. Not just because he'll fight a different opponent each match with their own unique moveset, but because the variations let you mix and match moves, even matches against the same characters, will change depending on that individual player's loadout and playstyle and all that stuff. I just really want to see him in MK12, and I really want this to be a mechanic. Like, come on, it would be so cool. It would be amazing. It would be incredible. Give my boy Shujinko some love. And that's going to be it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the video. What are your top 10 characters that you want to see return in MK12? And which characters do you think have a 100% chance of returning? I don't know, so let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all of your MK12 news and gameplay. Finally, don't forget to check the video description down below for a link to the community Discord server where we're talking about fighting games, the FGC, and grouping up for fight nights. Definitely check that out. Anyways, I'm Zuliulix, and I will see you in the next round.